Hello and welcome to Control Alt Wow AprilPvd, the podcast for those of us who love virtual reality, being in retirement, and living single, sober, and small. Today is Tuesday, June 23rd, 2026, and this is episode 869 entitled Missions, Missions, Missions. So on Tuesday, I decided to make it up to the Sage. So I got on Aprillian and did some missions. She's my only Sage, and I hadn't really been doing much with her. She had just done the first two phases and hadn't started on phase 3, which meant she didn't get any of the missions yet. I found out that you cannot get the quests for the missions from the expedition panel until you go to the anomaly and do each type of quest from the prismatic core. Then once you've done that, you can use the expedition tab and then track swarm activity button and get the missions from there. I was watching Captain Steve's YouTube video, and he talked about how he likes playing in VR and he doesn't like the flight controls. It seems like he's playing either on an Xbox or something, but he's using a gamepad. It's funny, I have the opposite feelings. I love the controls of the ships in VR because I feel like my hands are actually doing the flying. My right hand is controlling the movement front or back or side to side, and my left hand is increasing or decreasing the speed. They did a really good job of bringing this game into VR. Aprillian did her 3 missions and scored some points for the Sage. I've gotten a lot better at fighting. I've been using my scatter blaster instead of my the javelin, or I think what is the one they give you one, but the scatter blaster I like. And one of the things that I've been discovering, and I don't know why I didn't realize this before, is that I can toss the gun over my right shoulder and bring it back down, and it's reloaded. And also, there is a number on the blaster that shows how many bullets are left. And I'm using the loop stabilizer, which is the blue Sentinel type gun that I got from one of those Sentinel pillars, and it's wicked cool. And yeah, Aprilia did really good that day. She completed all the mission for the swarm. So now we're up to Wednesday. I got on AprilPvd, and she joined April at the anomaly so that April could give her some cargo bulkhead and salvage freight modules for her freighter. She wants to upgrade her freighter. I know it's crazy to do freighters in the expedition, but since we're there so long, I'm kind of enjoying trying things I wouldn't normally be doing in my main save. She ended up, when she got back to her freighter, AprilPvd ended up duping some items, including the Atlas Pass, so that she could share it with other people. So that, I like getting things for free. You never know what you'll find in those barrels. So then AprilPvd spent some time upgrading her freighter and actually purchased a color for her freighter, and found out that you cannot use any other colors on your freighter other than the ones associated with your faction. So since she's Weaver, she could only have blue. The supply train quest for that period was for phosphorus. So she made some phosphorus, and then she duped some, and she made enough to share with April. She went back and joined April again and gave April some. I love being able to go back and forth and to share with my other characters. I have April running on the flat screen, and to catch you up, or in case you didn't know, I have 3 No Man's Sky accounts and 4 Steam accounts, so I can have up to 3 of my tunes on at the same time. So then AprilPvd logged off of off and got on April. And then April did some missions, and April is royal. April and Sebastian are royal. I don't know. I kind of feel like I want to do more on April because she's new, but she's the latest one. But I think I want to work more on Sebastian because Sebastian is going to be keeping this save. He started from a fresh save. Oh, and by the way, I did do something with AprilPvd I hadn't mentioned. I tried to get a portal for her because so many people have been popping up with these sentinel ships, which you can find them, but you need to have the glyphs. So she went through the whole process of getting the portal. She took bought some planetary charts. We have to go around to these different old buildings and find the one that will give you the path or the ley line to the portal. Usually it's like the second or third one. And if I was in my main save, I could have used my Colossus or something else. But it was it went by pretty quickly. Plus, you get to travel to different places on these planets. And I love doing that. And she got to the portal, but it turned out that one of the things she needed to activate the portal was copper. Each glyph that you activate needs something special. I had the indium, and I had, of course, oxygen and carbon, but I didn't have the copper, or I think it will use some quartz or something. So I went out and mined for copper, came back, went through all the steps with AprilPvd to activate the portal, and then found out I don't have any glyphs. So I'm going to be now looking for the little ghost guys on the space stations give you the glyph. But it was still fun. And I did go ahead and put a base station down so that if I do get it, I will be able to get that portal. And we'll see what happens. So Thursday, I hop on April and decided to upgrade her Dire Wasp multi-tool by switching to her main save. This is a lot of work, but it's really worth it. So what I have to do is if you switch to your main save, you can then make a copy of your whatever multi-tool was your main multi-tool in the expedition. So now I can go to the terminal at the console at the anomaly, buy my multi-tool from that with using some nanites. Now the multi-tool you get in the expedition is an A class. So I had to do all the things you need to do to make it an S class. So I duped some of my suspicious packages and then turned around and sold them for nanites. It was a lot to do. And then I also had to go in and dupe the updates or upgrades for the multi-tool because I had taken some of those with me into the expedition. And so it was a lot of work going back and forth doing that. And then I also had to go into my other multi-tools and pull out some of the tech modules, like really good scanner modules, the upgraded mining additions, and some of the weapons so that I could, use those to upgrade the Dire Wasp multi-tool. Say that 3 times real fast. But it was worth it because after I upgraded everything and I went through a lot of trouble. I actually went back to April's home on the east side, which I really love, and she was able to get all the things she needed, upgrade everything, go back to a space station, upgrade the multi-tool and then bring that multi-tool back. Once she went back to the anomaly, switched back to the expedition, the only thing she had to do first was destroy the A-class dire wasp multi-tool and then go back to the console and buy the upgraded one, which was kind of neat. It seems complicated and a lot of trouble, but I enjoy all the intricacies of doing things like that. So that's what I did on Thursday. Friday, I got back on Aprillian because she's Sage and Sage is behind. I actually did missions on her and AprilPvd on the flat screen. I do love the beauty of the flat screen. It is gorgeous, gorgeous in the game. I did the 2 missions that were available that didn't involve space battles. I did the one where you had to take something out of the ground, with your terrain manipulator. And that one was tricky for me at first because you have to make sure you have the terrain manipulator equipped or the targets won't show up in the scanner. And then I did the other one, which you have to go to a building where they direct you to and disable the console using, I think it's ferret dust or microprocessor or the silicate you get from the terrain manipulator. And I usually do the one with the silicate because it's easy to get. I was doing it on the flat screen because I was also watching Buffy, and it's the one time when I'm multitasking. It's nice to be on the flat screen. The flying for me is harder because I can't do the controls as well with the keyboard and mouse, but the video is so beautiful on the flat screen. So that's what I did Friday. Did missions on both Aprillian and then AprilPvd. I love the way the living ship looks. Saturday, we started off with Aprillian. She logged in, ready to do some missions. She's on her freighter and she's loving it because it's got that nice bright green that matches with her Sage. And it's such a beautiful freighter, although it's a C class though. So she's off to find a mission. When she logged off the day before, she had gotten a marker for one of those guys that has a glyph. So she's gonna go grab that, and then I believe she's going to summon AprilPvd and have her get the glyph too. This is AprilPvd. And I'm a weaver. I can tell because my hands are blue. And we're going to look at what is available for us to do. Okay, we're already on one. Purge. We have to highlight that. Eliminate swarms. Okay. And what did it say? Oh, destroy swarmers using your ship's weapon system. So I am in my living ship. Returning to space, we have to go to another galaxy. I really find it so much easier to do this in VR. I love the way my ship looks. Look, it's a living ship. I love the seat. My back is on that. All right, so we are looking for the icon. Okay, there it is. Okay, so this is the one where you go to, yeah, you go here and you go to the swarm's coordinates, and this derelict ship comes out, and now you have to fight these guys. I've gotten pretty good at fighting them. And I cannot do this in flat screen. I'm going to try to put a picture in the show notes of what the fight looks like. I want to fool around with maybe putting videos in the show notes. Oh, I got one more on my butt. Where is it? There it is. They do move really fast. All right. So that was +3 to Weavers. And I got a circuit board. Let's go to the next one. Track swarm activity. We're going to go to restore. And this is +2, +2, +2. And that's in another system. Oh, but before we do that, AprilPvd does have a freighter, right? Yes. Oh, it's a Class A freighter. Let's see. But she is, I am addicted to checking out freighters. So there's some freighters here. And also while I'm here, I might be able to get some frigates. They messaged me. There's one. I'm not going to get any more C-class ones. It has to be A or... Oh, this one's B. I will take it. All right, nice. Now let me go check out this freighter. I'm not going to go up board this time. I'm just going to scan it. It's an A, but I don't need an A, but you know who does? April. Okay, so I have bought April here. I just buy this freighter. Oh, did we even check? Is it? It's a B class. Wait. Let me see. And I see it as an A class. Isn't that interesting? We both go up and talk to the captain and see what happens. Alright, I'm going to talk to the captain first, but I'm not buying, of course. Alright, let's do her first, and then I'll do, oops. Alright, so I saw this as an A class, but let's see what she sees. Oh, and it's totally different. What she's seeing, she's getting that and that, and this is not what I'm seeing. But as you can see, I am here. Okay, so she is gonna get an offer to buy, and she's getting a B class. Alright, now I just want to show you what I'm seeing. I seem to be walking into the wall. There she is. And I see an A class. Isn't that interesting? But she doesn't have one at all, so it's okay if she gets the B class. I'm going to put her back in. And she's going to buy the B class. And she has enough. And now she has a freighter, right? Okay, now she's going to leave. And where's her ship? What the heck? That's a cute little ship. And make a save spot. And then I'll come back on her later. And I guess, look at this. This is really interesting. because she bought the ship, I got kicked out into space in my ship. So that's interesting. Are there any other freighters or anything around? So that was really neat. All right, so now let's get back into what I was doing. Now, one of the things that's nice about the jump ship on my living ship is that I can do quick jumps without stopping in between, because I put all the upgrades in the engine, and this ship is pretty good for flying. So I'm on AprilPvd, and I'm back on AprilPvd. Oh, this is where I have a portal. Interesting, because now I have one coordinate, one glyph. Now look at all these. Well, if you're listening on the podcast, you can see that I can tell you. Let me rephrase that. If you're watching on the video, you'll see all the bases, but they kind of block out. They don't fully block out. So I think they did something where they changed it so that no matter how many bases they build, you can still see the icon for the mission. So I'm heading down. I feel pretty good about getting April a freighter and a B class at that. So I'm preventing biosphere corruption. And I went a little bit farther. I like to go right on top and then go down, like pulse all the way so that I'm over top, and then pull down. I love the way the ship handles in VR. I had some guy try to tell me that I needed one of those stick things, but if I had the stick thing, then I would have to be seated, and that's what I would be doing all the time. And I love the fact that I'm moving around. I'm walking on this planet. I think I've been here before because these flowers look familiar. Okay, so I'm doing the let's find and dig out the buried swarm debris on this one. So I'll be back when I'm done with this. All right, I'm back. I got my third one over here. I brought my ship in so that I can just get in and make a save point. This area is really pretty and purpley because of it has the dissonance, and the sentinels here are what happened to it? Did I pass it by? Oh, I passed it. Here it is. The sentinels are the corrupted ones. Alright, so now I've gotten all three of them. I've completed that mission, which is +2 to everybody. I guess that's about the building of the prismatic core. So I'm going to get into my ship and get out. Oh, there's one of those corrupted sentinels. And now we're going to figure out the next one. So I've done... Oh, okay. I just did that one in the nick of time, and the clock has turned over. So we got the supply chain one. So you need pyrite. All right. I sometimes pull that up, but I'm not going to do it right now because I want to do the other missions. So I pull it up and select it just to know what I need to grab. So I want to start with the ones that do +3 to Weaver score, and Weavers are the ones that are in charge. But before I go, I want to figure out if I'm going to do some scanning here to see if there's any pyrite here. But before I do that, I am going to see if there is any way to make pyrite. Go to the wiki. Sometimes there are combinations you can do. Golden pyrite. Oh, golden oxygen. And cactus flesh and salt. And uranium and pure ferrite. Golden oxygen, uranium and pure ferrite. And cactus flesh and salt. Do I have any of that? Cactus flesh? Oh, no. Alright, here we go. Gold and oxygen. Obviously, I have that. So let's try that. I'm gonna put some gold in. Okay. So I need 130. And I know I have oxygen. And I just need a. Oh, I have enough to make 666. But I just need 130, I believe. So I'm going to go ahead and make some pyrite for polo. And then I will, but I'm not going to do that right away. I'm just going to put it in my inventory. I'll make a little bit of extra. Alright, so let's see what the other mission was. Oh, okay, so I got that mission, and I just need to go up into space. And here we go. It's in another system, so we're going to hop over to another system. It's usually nearby. I really should be hopping into space stations to see if I can find any more of those creepy guys. In fact, I may do a search later, just so I could get all the glyphs. I want to get a sentinel ship for Sebastian. Alright, where are we going? Here. Oh, is this the fight? This is the fight. Is it? Oh no, we're landing. I thought this was one that was in the air, but we're landing. Swarm wreckage. I think this is the one where we pull apart. Either we pull it apart or we heal it. And okay, so we have swarm wreckage here. Let's see which one it's gonna be. I'm quite enjoying, you know, if I'm doing a... Oh, okay, so I need to disassemble. So, well, first of all, though, before I do anything, I need to make sure that my weapons are loaded up. And they are. Okay, here we go. So, you know what happens. First thing I'm going to do is grab one. And they're going to come. And now I just got to... I'm going to use my blaster. And if you look at the number there, it shows me how much, how much I have in my oops, I'm in bad shape. So I need to change because that's not doing it. Oh, he's shooting me. Damage. Uh-oh. Okay, so I got to kill one of these right away. Oh, let me get... Shit. And I gotta get to his can. And this is gonna heal me. Shit. Okay, so now my shields are back up, but I still got some damage to one of my shields. But I can fix that afterwards. Oops. Shit. Alright, I gotta kill him. That's my headset battery. Shield down. This was a close one. Alright, what did I... you know what? Before I do anything else, I need to get in my ship and out of my ship to create a save point. But I'm going to repair, because I did some damage to my suit. Okay, what did I... Oh, okay, this one. My harmonic lattice. Oh, and I need some sodium. Okay, so I need sodium. What do I have that I can make? I have sodium nitrate. Do I have any? Oh, I do. I have some marrow bulbs. So I'm putting marrow bulbs in my personal refiner because I need sodium to repair my harmonic lattice. I need 50. How many did I get out of that? Oh, I don't get enough. All right, so I'm gonna have to take some of my sodium nitrate and turn it into sodium. Let's see if that's enough to repair my harmonic. Yep, that was enough. Okay. My technology is repaired. Let me make sure everything else is okay. I'm good to go. I'm gonna need some more sodium though at some point. All right. Got my Gravitino coil, and I'm taking apart. So there's two steps to this. It's pulling it off, but once you pull it off, you also pull out the. You can pull stuff out of it. So I've pulled that off. Where did it go? Oh, okay. Maybe not that one. But you get materials from inside the part. So, yep, I just corrupted ichor, which someone said that you can put in your refiner and it'll turn into nanite. I should do that. And that gave me some more corrupted ichor. This is very, very satisfying. I know a lot of people have been complaining about this expedition, but I am enjoying it. I need one more. Oh, there it is, right there. Or is it inside? Uh-oh. Oh, it's right. Well, this one is right here. This one I need to pull off. Oh, it was. Okay. So I've got it. I've done I've completed the mission. I've gotten some more ichor, and now I can go on to the next mission, which is sabotage, which is -1 to sage, -1 to royal. And I can tell I'm a weaver because I've got blue hands. But I am going up, and I'm going to another system again. You know, I guess that's it. I understand the frustration, but I am having a blast, and I don't care how many missions I repeat because it's the immersion that gets me. I am here doing these missions in space. I'm gonna stop at the space station for just a second and then come back out again because I do want to increase my inventory, but I'm also looking for the little glyph guys too. I love coming to the stations anyways. I'm expanding my inventory and looking for those little guys that give you a glyph. You know, I haven't even checked with the merchant. I don't think can we get with them? I suppose we could if we donated. Let me see. What happens if I donate some salvage data and factory override unit and I step back? Ooh, I've got to level 9. Oh, okay. So I get fuel. Okay, so maybe I'll start visiting them. I hadn't been visiting because I didn't think it was worth it. Alright, so I don't see any of the ghost guys around. Let me head to the mission. I'm gonna make a save point first, though. Every time I expand my inventory or do anything, I try to make a save point. Ooh. I can't help myself. I can't. There's some freighters here. Also, I may be able to get. I'm looking just for A, B, or I mean S is a B. I'm gonna take this one. I took a frigate that was a B class. Mostly, I just want to check out the. Here's another recall. Every time you go near a freighter, the available ones will try to call you. No, your C class. And I want to just take a look. This one. Now, do I want to take the time? This is just a C one, so I'm just gonna go. But now I'm curious. I'm gonna pause for a second. All right, here is Sebastian, right here. Sebastian has a freighter. Oh, Sebastian has an A-class freighter. Never mind. Okay, I'm on the site for the mission, which is sabotage research fallen swarmer. So he's fighting. Oh, and he's got a really cool sentinel. This is why I want to get the shoot, I'm being attacked. This is why I want to get the glyph so I can find some sentinel ships. But he's fighting. If you look, you can see that this guy that I'm here with is fighting because he was getting those barrels. But I'm here to repair. So I have this fallen swarmer reconstruct valuable data. And he needs a microprocessor. He needs 3 nanotubes and 2 pieces of glass, which I can make. From my inventory, I'm accessing my supply of silicate powder, and I only need 2 pieces of glass. I might just takes 30 seconds. So now that guy's gone, and I don't know what's happening now, but I've got my glass, and I can repair this. So now I open it up, and those 2 are already repaired, and I give it the glass, and now oh, this guy is trying to do some kind of PvP. I'm just checking. I have no PvP on. But anyway, I'm done with that part. And I'm going up and out. Just want to get the glass out of my refiner that I made. And now we're going to check out the next part of the expedition that I can do. And now I can do one more, and that's supply train. And I've already got that, so all I need to do is bring up the anomaly and go see Polo. And I think that's going to be it for me for Saturday. I did my VR workout earlier today, and it was really good. I'm very lucky that I can do. Look at that. There's another sentinel ship. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to get my glyphs. Or find somebody who can summon me. That would be nice. And so now I'm going to go turn this into Polo. The 130 pyrites. And we are up to 37%. here at the prismatic core, and I feel good. Oh, I am gonna go back and do a save, but I really want somebody to take me, summon me to where I can get one of these really nice ships. I'm gonna have to make some friends. Right, and save. Here's my beautiful ship. Let's get one nice view of both of us. And she's a, let's see if I get the best picture. Actually, maybe I'll get on top of her. Take a picture. That would be the best way. Perfect. Love it. All right. I'll be back on. I'll catch up with you tomorrow. I'm loving this. I'm loving everything about the expedition. And this is AprilPvd signing off for today. I kind of got in a little funk with No Man's Sky, and I was absorbing a lot of the negative energy going around about the missions because it does seem like we're just repeating the same things over and over again. So I had actually not played much on Sunday, not at all Monday or Tuesday. I was doing a lot of things around the house as well. And then on Wednesday, I hopped back in and I realized I love the game. I love the mechanics. I love the immersion. I'd actually tried playing some other games like Medieval Dynasty, and it just didn't feel as comfortable as I feel when I'm playing No Man's Sky. I have to say they have done a really good job with VR. So I hopped in on Aprillian again because she's Sage, and I feel bad that Sage is so far behind. And I wanted to do more Sage missions. So she ended up on a bubble planet, and she completed all of her missions. And then I wanted her to get a better freighter. And so we tried doing some jumps to see if we would get the pirate attack and we could get a pirate freighter, but that didn't work. But I did end up looking at I ended up stopping at space stations to get my inventory expanded and to suck up to the merchant guild. I mean, we're going to be here for a while. Might as well get in good with those guys and get the free stuff. And also, I was looking for another one of those guys to get a glyph, to get more glyphs. I ended up looking at freighters and I chose one that had the aquarium in it. So, because I liked that aquarium. And one of the things that kept happening is I would land on a freighter and I would see that it was an upgrade to my freighter, but I couldn't remember whether or not it had something else that I wanted in it. Because whenever you get a new freighter, all the rooms that are in that freighter, you can keep and you can copy. So you get the stuff without having to buy the specific rooms and everything. And some of the things in there are stuff that you would have to buy from, I think, a Quicksilver vendor or from like the aquarium. I think that's a Quicksilver thing. So I ended up keeping this one freighter, and then I logged off of Perlian and got on April, and she's royal. She had 4 minutes to finish the mission on the bubble planet, and when I go into land, sometimes when I'm flying and I'm trying to get a little extra speed, I sometimes divert the power to the engines. Then I realized April had an echolocator. So I decided to try to find a living frigate. But before I did that, I also duplicated the echolocator so I could give to my other characters so that they could also get living frigates. Because we're all flying around on a living ship and you get more stuff from the living frigates for the living ship. But the first time I tried, I pulsed and pulsed and pulsed, and no living frigates popped up. But several times the Sentinel popped up. Here's a Sentinel ship is lost. Let's go find it. So I decided to do that. I did go and find a Sentinel ship. I don't know if I'm going to keep it because it's one of the ones that have the rods coming out the top and the bottom, and that kind of obstructs the view. I'll put a screenshot in the show notes. But now I'm excited to try to find Sentinel ships because I was getting the glyphs to find the Sentinel ships, and if I can find the Sentinel ships with using the echolocators, that's even better. Maybe I'll find a cute one. And it's easier because you don't have to, it'll take you right to or right near the Sentinel ship as opposed to trying to use the coordinates that you find online. So now I'm going to try that and I'll let you know how that goes. On Thursday, I became obsessed with the echolocators and decided that I wanted everybody to have one. And I just really want to see if I can get a living frigate. So I logged into April, who had it, and she was on the flat screen. And I have to tell you, I did the recording from the flat screen using the game mode. And I'll put a screenshot in the show notes. It is absolutely beautiful. It's one of the few things that I really adore about the flat screen, especially the third person view that you can get, which of course you cannot do on VR. It just wouldn't translate well. But when I do have one of my characters on the flat screen, I love recording it. AprilPvd ended up joining E where she was on the planet next to the Sentinel ship that I wasn't sure that I wanted to pick up yet. I didn't like the format of that ship, but I did want to try, well, two things. I wanted to try on AprilPvd as far as trying to get the living frigate, but I also thought about trying it on Aprillian because she was logged into my account on my laptop that I can sit down in front of. And it's easier to constantly pulse with the laptop than being in VR. It's just really kind of boring in VR. So I grabbed 50 of the echolocators from April, and then I got an idea to check out what was going on, what else I could get from the Quicksilver vendor. And I realized that since I had the frigate, the freighter, I could now get the Normandy frigate along with a bunch of other decorations from the Quicksilver vendor. So I hopped over there and I did that. And it turned out to be really cool because when I went back to my freighter, there was the Normandy frigate. Now I'm going to have to spend some time and get them on my other characters as well because it is a beautiful S-class just combat with all the nice features on it, and I just love the way it looks. Remember, you can get all the expedition rewards on the expedition save just by going to the Quicksilver guy. I even picked up a couple of pets as well. And I've gotten a couple of more frigates, but I really want to try to get some pirate ones, so I'm going to have to go look for a pirate battle. And when you visit your frigates, they will sometimes give you stuff like magnetized ferret or what have you, period. AprilPvd left her freighter and was trying to find a pirate freighter fight. So she was doing some jumping, but ended up in a fight with the swarm. And this was one that wasn't credited to the expedition, but she still won. And you still get some things from destroying it, so it's still kind of fun and it's good practice, especially in the living ship. It's a little bit different because I don't have all the weapons. So before AprilPvd logged off, she brought in Aprillian so that she could trade with her and give her some of the echolocators as well. I know people say they have problems with multiplayer, and maybe it's because I don't really do a lot with them other than exchanging items, but it works pretty well for me. I haven't tried to do any missions or anything, but I have brought them in to swap stuff, and that's been pretty consistently good for me. And so that's what we did for today. We'll see what happens tomorrow, especially trying to get a Sentinel ship. Friday, I got on Aprillian again because I wanted to, do the Sage uh, missions because I'm trying to represent for Sage. But the first thing I did was try the echolocator, and she went to look at a Sentinel ship. But she did encounter a void egg, which if you blow them up and you're on a living ship, you get one of the techno modules for the living ships, which is kind of neat. But after checking out several different Sentinel ships using the echolocator, she finally found one that didn't have the beam over top of her head, but rather on the side. And I went through the whole thing where you have to get the inverted mirrors and you have to go to a alien ruin and activate the Highline brain and then come back and insert it in the Sentinel ship. And then I took that ship. It was a B class, and I took it to the space station, and I actually got some suspicious packets, opened those up so that I could get some nanites to upgrade it, and I was able to upgrade it to class A. Later on, I think I'm going to, make it a class S so I can see all the supercharged slots. But the neatest thing she found was that when she was in the pilot ship and she was in space, it didn't obscure her view like the other ships did. So that was how she spent Friday, getting a Sentinel ship. And it was kind of fun. I love the feel of the Sentinel ship. I mean, yes, she is in uh, the expedition and she has her living ship, but she also has another ship to play around with. And the nicest thing is she'll be able to bring it back after the expedition. And it's a cool little orange Sentinel ship. Also put down a base so that I could summon, or rather, summon. I'm thinking about World of Warcraft, so that I could have other characters come join me if they want to get the same Sentinel ship. It's just a way of mixing up stuff in the game and doing something while we are waiting for the whole expedition to go. And I'm having fun, especially since we know that only 3 of our missions per day is counting, so I might as well be doing other things than just missions. Of course, we can go back to our main save, but I kind of like exploring this, and I'm enjoying myself. Now we're at Saturday, and this was a tricky thing. Of course, the first thing I do every Saturday after I walk my dog is jump into my VR workout. I put on my weighted vest and my wrist weights, and I do some amazing working out in VR. I have the facial cover that absorbs the sweat, and I do an hour and 45 minutes in VR working out. Of course, I start out with my HIIT training, which are good, with a nice warm up in the beginning. But the highlight of my workout this Saturday was that I managed to do a streak, 100% streak on my boxing, which I love the feedback that I get from doing the boxing in VR. And it also enables me to, keep my trunk uh, solid and also cognitive, doing all the hits 1, 2, 3, 4. Then, and I do a bunch of stuff, but my final thing has been doing the elliptical before I do my cool down. And on the elliptical, I'm running on the elliptical and moving through this map. And what really was nice was that they changed the map. It's an app called HoloFit, and they added more of this Jurassic Park. Well, it's called Primordial type thing, and there's all these dinosaurs running around, and there's a Tyrannosaurus Rex trying to uh, attack the other dinosaurs, and the atmosphere around is just 100% gorgeous. So I'm really loving that part of working out, and yeah, it was a really really good workout. But then on every first and third Saturday of the month, I work with a group called the United Zenithian Alliance, and we go back into Zenith, and I had a fantastic time. It was kind of sad for me for one thing, because we have a Discord, and we announced the days that we're going to be, when we're going to be working, doing the cosmetic craze, which is a series of events that you do to get these tokens so that you can upgrade your uh, suits to with this cosmetic look. And on the Discord, someone actually said the game is dead. Yes, we know the game is dead, but the mechanics are so good, and I just really love two things about it. First of all, when I'm working like with a blade, my arms are moving like I'm blading, and it works really nice. It's the best mechanics of any VR game I've ever played. Like sometimes I am doing a ninja, which operates a bow, and I feel like I'm really pulling back the bow and adding and aiming. So that was fun. We had a few people show up, and we did an hour and a half of that. And then I did a few other things around the house, including some more editing for this podcast. And I ended up not getting back into No Man's Sky on Sunday at all. But that's okay. I can miss a day. I always feel like I have to get in and do my missions and help the uh, expedition, but it's okay if I miss a day. I'm still having fun and loving VR. One thing did happen. There was a video on YouTube where someone was talking about uh, the misconceptions of VR. And there's a lot of videos talking about VR is dying and that it's not going to be a viable industry anymore. And I have to tell you, if you're still playing VR, and maybe that's why you're listening to me and watching my videos, I I don't care. I will still be playing it. I mean, it's nice when there are new games out and there are things you can do that um takes, something interesting, but I'm still playing No Man's Sky. As long as No Man's Sky has VR capabilities, I will still be playing in VR. And then there's other games that I can jump back in, including Batman, the Arkham, the new one. It was on sale. I don't know if it'll be on sale when this comes out, but it was on sale from 1999 to $2.99 in PCV in Steam for PCVR. I actually have it for the Quest headset, and so I think I will be showing off whether it's that much of an improvement between the two. But in the meantime, I really enjoyed playing Zenith. And if you have ever played Zenith and you're looking to join us, it's the first Saturday and the third Saturday of every month. We meet on Acolyte in Fractured Plains, and we have a really, really good time. On Sunday, I actually started my VR playing time with the Quest version of Batman, which was like moving along a predetermined path that you had to kind of find. I mean, it was very immersive as far as VR games go, but I had to follow the map to get to this place, and I'm wondering if the flat screen game is like that as well. Then I switched over to the Steam version of Batman VR, and I have to say, it was boring. I mean, the effects were beautiful, the graphics were delightful, but you were basically just selecting things and pointing at them. Of course, maybe I was only in the intro because I never got to any fighting. I equipped my bat suit and then I selected a bat vehicle and then I used the computer to find a dead body. And then I used some analysis equipment to try to figure out what happened in the fight and then to try to find fingerprints. I must have played for at least a half an hour to 45 minutes. And I didn't get to do any fighting except for the practice of throwing the bat boomerang. I think I'm just used to more activity, and I felt like I was just standing around too much, so I went back to No Man's Sky. I started out with the idea that I would run some missions on Aprillian because she's Sage, but I ended up doing some Sentinel shopping on AprilPvd because when I logged in, I was on her and she had the echo locator going from the last time I had logged in. Now, keep in mind, she was really looking for a living frigate, but the only thing that pops off is deep space object detected and the Sentinel ship, and every once in a while an Atlas thing. I'm curious is to see if I'm looking forward to say whale song, but I'm curious to see if maybe one of the deep space object detected is the whale song. Maybe they changed it for the expedition. A lot of people are expecting everything to work the same as it does in the main game, but this is an expedition and nothing ever works the same. So she got one of the sentinel things and she jumped to the coordinate, got in a battle with the swarm. That seems to happen every time you jump, but it doesn't count towards the expedition mission. She liked the sentinel ship she found. I know I sound like I'm a little bit schizoid because I'm always saying she and he and everything, but bear with me. You know what I mean. One thing she did was she duplicated the radiant shards that she had and the And when she went to try to find an inverted mirror, there was some glitch that even though she went to the spot that the scanner was showing her there was an inverted mirror, there wasn't one. So she knew that Aprillian had some inverted mirrors. And so I brought her in and she got a couple from her and then she duplicated those as well. And then she went back and got the brain and did the whole thing to make it work in the Sentinel ship. But what was weird was she went to look for the ship and the marker was no longer on the planet that she came back to. It made her warp to another planet. And I'm wondering if that's because she left her game and joined Aprillian's game and then came back. So she went jumped to where that other one was. And she didn't like it. And so she did the echolocator again, found another Sentinel ship, but it was a C-class ship. So she decided she didn't want to go through the trouble of upgrading it. And we went to the space station and she sold that ship. So then at the space station, AprilPvd saw a solar ship. And at first, I was going to buy it for her or hire it to be one of her, the squadron. But she decided to buy it. So now she has a solar ship. But she did go back to her living frigate for the time being. But then she hopped on Aprillian and she did some missions. And she is riding around in that Sentinel ship I talked about before, the one that has the nice view. And she also went ahead and painted her freighter green because she's sage. And then I jumped on Sebastian because I'm trying to get Sebastian to have some more time in the game because this is going to be his main save once the expedition is over. And he did some missions and then he used the echolocator and found a really cool Sentinel ship that he wanted to keep. But for some reason, it didn't give him a brain. Normally, they give you a brain. So now, it said something about going into space and fighting to get your rating up or something. But instead, I just brought AprilPvd in and she gave him the brain and then he was able to duplicate it and give her a couple of brains back. And so then she went to get the ship because she really liked it. Sebastian put down a base at that same place. And then it was almost time for me to go to bed. And I was getting ready to stop. But then AprilPvd was looking around at the pets. And one of the things that had been bugging me was that sometimes when I would scan, I would not get the pet scan button to pop up. And I thought maybe it was because I didn't have the right scanner in my multi-tool or something. But this time, everybody that was scanning pets today on Sunday was able to get that button. So I don't know what that was about. And so while AprilPvd was scanning pets, she found her first triple S pet in the expedition. And so that was very exciting. And so she got the pet. But I left them both on that planet so that when I come back on Monday that she'll be able to to get that Sentinel ship and Sebastian will be able to get the triple S pet. As a multi-boxer, I'm loving the ease in which I can just go to a planet and then have one of my other characters join me. So Sebastian was able to join Aprillian on that planet and get the Sentinel ship and the triple S pet. And then he went back to his freighter because he wanted to be able to hire somebody for his squadron. He's the one that I am going to transfer that expedition to a main save because he hadn't really done anything in his original save. He found a pilot with a solar ship and hired him. And I know some people don't like the squadrons, but I like having someone in the battle with me, even if they don't do that much. Then I realized that Sebastian did not have a teleporter for his freighter. And for that, he needed an amino chamber, and he didn't have that skill recipe. I really should give him all the recipes, again, because he's going to be the main person. This is going to be his main save. But I decided to log in on AprilPvd, and then he joined her game, and she needed chlorine, but he had it, so that worked out nicely. Sebastian did get a battle for one of the missions, and the Sentinel ship handles very nicely. It has a rocket launcher. That's something I am missing from the living ship because I can't figure out. I don't seem to be able to get one from the psychotic eggs or whatever they're called. The next mission was the one where you have to use the terrain manipulator to find the wreckage buried from the buried swarm debris. It's nice that when you can mark it and then fly to it in your ship and you don't have to walk all the way. I think it depends on a line of sight because sometimes I can't mark it and I have to end up walking. So I also landed my spaceship right on top of one, and I had to move it because it turns out you can't use your terrain manipulator when your ship is parked on top of something. And then the one thing I have to do is make sure that my ships all have enough launch fuel because you would hate to try to summon your ship and it can't come because it's out of launch fuel. All in all, Monday night was a lot of fun. Sebastian was able to color his freighter red like he wanted it because he is royal. He also got some cool multi-tools, although he got one S-class and he ended up going to the anomaly and selling it. And he got his Sentinel up to S-class. Ended up doing a lot of duping, but that's okay. I'm having fun and that's all that matters. I did missions on Sebastian and on Aprillian. And I'm looking forward to the rest of the expedition. I'm really loving it. I think this expedition is unique because it's going on so long and it gives you a lot to try. And it's not like being in the full game because there's some things that just aren't there. And of course, you always have the ability to go back to your main save. So we'll see what happens next week. Thanks for listening. If you're listening on the podcast, you can go to the YouTube Ctrl Alt WoW on YouTube and see the video, which I'm trying to incorporate all the things I'm talking about in the video. Hopefully that'll work out. It's more work than I thought it would be, but I just like to include the visual because playing No Man's Sky in VR is so immersive and so beautiful. You can write me at ctrolaltwow@gmail.com. And of course, our show notes are at ctrolaltwow.com, which forwards from ctrolaltwow.blogspot.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode. Technology recharge.